Good afternoon. We'll start this liquor control meeting here. We are absent a couple of members, but we'll try to conduct whatever business we can at this point. So the first item on the agenda is approve the minutes of the October 21 liquor control meeting. I would entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Second item on the agenda is a review of liquor applications. Now, these aren't our traditional liquor applications. In either case, we're not issuing new licenses. The first is a request from Northern Prairie Performing Arts, doing business as The Stage at Island Park. And anybody that's familiar knows that their building essentially was condemned down there. And so they've been operating at 6 Broadway. It's going to take a couple of years to reconstruct, and so this is just kind of to temporarily move the license to 6 Broadway, kind of allows them to get their state license in play and everything. I don't know if there's any comments, recommendations, concerns?
No, I would move to approve.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded to approve the transfer of location. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. And then the next one is La Fiesta Mexican American Grill, and they have an additional partner. The other partners, there were 2 partners in the business, now they're equal, and so it's going from a 50-50 to a third each. And we did the background check and came back with no items of concern. The new partner is also a partner in another restaurant in town. So I don't know, Chief, any comments on that?
No, nothing further. I'd move to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the addition of the additional partner at La Fiesta. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The next item is consider a request from Fargo Brewing to amend the license premise to reflect what their space is going to look like after the remodeling. I see a representative from Fargo Brewing here. Aaron, do you want to make any comments about this? I would love to.
Okay, then I will. So Aaron Hill with Fargo Brewing. So we are making a pretty significant investment in our building. So we are basically renovating the outside, or it's painted outside. The parking lot has been repaved and all that stuff. But the reason we're amending our license or the premises is we are sort of building a new tap room space. So our current kind of tap room is on the west side, kind of on the end of the building. That's always been kind of a temporary thing. We always wanted to move it. So now we are moving it to the south end of the building, and then included in that will be like a concert hall, event space, venue. So that will also be included in our sort of licensed premises. You guys are there any questions or any further detail you'd like me to share on the project or the premises?
Yeah, just one question, Aaron. Have you filed with the state then to, get their approval also?
So, I'm sorry, Jared Hardy would normally be here, but he had a positive COVID test in his family. So, as far as I know, we have, okay. But I can't, yeah, please don't hold me to that. I believe we've kind of been in contact with the state, and
okay.
Everything should be good there.
Because the AG office will contact us then.
Yep. Yeah, it's the Attorney General's office that approves
Yeah.
the premises, so.
Yeah.
So any other questions by the board?
No. Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded to approve the amended license premise. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next item is COVID compliance review and reports by the Fargo Police. I'll ask the chief to follow up on that.
Thank you, sir. It's kind of presented to the commission a couple of meetings ago. Our department has done a couple hundred compliance checks since about November 16th when the various governors and city orders came into play. And in large part, we saw a lot of cooperation either on their own volition or through education and some assistance offered to the personnel when we stopped in and did these compliance checks. We were quite busy with that over the course of the last couple of months. We did have we had a couple of establishments that were initially troublesome from the perspective of gaining voluntary compliance. So one of them, actually, the Africa establishment, initially we had some issues there, but I'm happy to report that by the end of December, they had actually made a number of changes to their operation to put them into compliance, and we haven't had any issues since. So whatever the early issues were, I think that they've been alleviated. So I guess that's a success story. I don't know if there's any other action that needs to be taken or considered by the board, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The other establishment was the Empire Bar downtown, and their issues were a little more significant because they covered both issues with masking and capacity. So we made several compliance checks there over the course of the last 2 months, and most significantly in the last 30 days, last 60 days, I guess. And by December 22nd, we were still coming upon issues where there was non-compliance. Since that time, we have done a number of additional checks, and we have not had any further violations there. So it appears that they have changed their business model, or at least they have educated or enforced within their staff the provisions of the then existing governor's order, which is now actually no longer in effect. So again, I guess at this juncture, I think my opinion might have been different 30 days ago, but I think at this juncture where we are, that unless the rest of the board has questions or other suggestions, I wouldn't recommend any additional action at this time.
Any questions, Grant?
No questions, thanks.
Okay, then I think we'll just consider that past us then. Next item is business relief letters. So there were 3 parts to the business relief. Grant and I were fortunate enough to be able to work on that process. First part was any restaurant or bar that paid fees to the health department are going to be issued a refund of those fees. Those fees are all due on December 31st, and we've gone through and checked to make sure the people that did pay and didn't pay, the people that didn't pay obviously aren't going to get a refund. They didn't pay anything in. The ones that did pay will get that money back. Second part is the liquor license, and that's going to be 7/1/21 through the 6/30/22 year. So the liquor licenses coming up will be waived. There will be no renewal fees involved. We'll still have you fill out the renewal information that we get every year. If you are required to provide food sales to verify your compliance with the requirements of the ordinances, then you'll still have to file that information. But you will not be required to actually pay the fees. So that's step 2, and then step 3 was any city of Fargo utilities. So that's basically your water, sewer, garbage, those types of utilities that are directly billed to the restaurant or bar, direct billed. Those have been put into a status where they're getting the bill refunded. So essentially, whatever your water part of the bill was, there's a refund offsetting that, sewer refund offsetting. So for the next 6 months, you'll get a bill, but it'll have a 0 balance on it. So those are the 3 phases of that business relief that the city commission approved at the end of December. So we just wanted to kind of make mention of that. Number 6 is that Brady Martz has been working on the annual liquor audits. I've had a number of calls. It shows people are eager to comply, people wanting to provide me the information, and we do that strictly through the independent auditor. And the final item that I have on our agenda is server training is back online and virtual. And they're hoping to, if we can continue to make progress with our COVID cases, that maybe they can resume in class in March. So Anybody else on the board have any other comments? Any comments from anybody in the audience? Thank you very much for your, oh, yes. Can you come to the, yep, thanks, Dan.
My question is just on the business relief letters. If we are not direct billed by the city, will those refunds go to the building owner, or will it just simply not be offered?
It won't be offered.
Okay.
So
So we don't need to be asking for that from them. It's just not happening.
yeah, it's just
Okay.
not happening. There's so many situations where, you know, I got a call from one restaurant that's in the Galleria on 45th, right? Or on Veterans or whatever it is. But anyway, I looked it up and there were 4 restaurants in there. Well, you know, the landlord is paying the utility. We have no idea what they're charging through to the restaurant. So we had no way to do that. But anybody that's direct billed. So I will say that if your business is, you know, Northtown Hospitality or something like that, and you're doing business as somebody else, if I wasn't able to match those two up, or I didn't recognize the address or something, please call me. I've had a number of those where we've had to go back and say, oh yeah, it is a one-to-one relationship, but I didn't recognize that that's the business that's there. I had one the other day, Dakota Pie, and I didn't know who it was, so I didn't, you know, but now I was able to correct it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dan. Being no other items, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you.